Welcome back, everybody. It's Friday, October 31st, 2025. Born on this date in 1951, former University of Alabama football coach Nick Saban. Today, we're going to talk weather with Lee Morgan. First, we have what one Alabama city is doing to help direct folks who frequently call 911. We have an immigration arrest-related lawsuit, possibly going class action. And we have what the county circuit court judge said about Dauphin Island's foxes. My name's Ike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama.
The NFL is back, and FanDuel's got everything you need to play your game, from same-game parlays to live betting. Right now, new customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. 21 plus in present and select states. 18 plus in Kentucky and Wyoming. Must be first online real money wager. $5 deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The city of Mobile will be allowing the free use of iPads because of the load that repeat calls are putting on 911 services, reports AL.com's Heather Gann. Dr. Cindy Gibson with Alta Point Health said that some people call daily or more about pretty routine stuff, and often that means police or EMS workers and maybe a fire truck go out, and that can be pretty expensive. Gibson said many of those regular callers have been diagnosed with a mental health condition, so using the iPads will allow them to connect with someone who can either talk them through the issue or determine whether they need to see someone else, be it an emergency responder or a therapist, which could be a lot more efficient than sending a half dozen emergency personnel in a fire truck. Gibson said the city spends around $1 million a year on frequent callers, and Alta Point hopes to cut that 85% next year. A U.S. citizen and Alabama resident who's been arrested twice this year by immigration agents wants to make his lawsuit a class action case, reports AL.com's Sarah White's Kodachek. He filed his suit in September, alleging that ICE agents wouldn't accept his real ID as proof of citizenship during 2 separate raids on job sites in Foley and Fairhope. The officers, according to his lawsuit, claimed his ID was fake and detained him anyway. The lawsuit, which alleges racial profiling, is asking a federal judge to pause raids on construction sites. Neither ICE nor the Department of Homeland Security responded to requests for comment. A Mobile County Circuit Court judge did not stop the town of Dauphin Island and the Alabama Department of Conservation from trapping and euthanizing some foxes on the island, reports AL.com's Margaret Cates. Judge Michael Youngpeter did tell the plaintiffs they could take the case to federal court. Now, we had the story earlier this week. The town and state say foxes have overpopulated the west end of Dauphin Island and need to be thinned out in order to protect sea turtles and endangered birds that use the preserve area and build their nests there. Some residents and visitors have objected to the removals, and the lawsuit emerged, arguing that the foxes are a part of the ecological balance of the island. The judge said the wildlife management plan for the area falls under federal jurisdiction. It's Friday, so we're going to have another longer segment. I really wanted to talk a little bit about weather today because, well, it's been a changing, and we have a lot of folks who might be outside this evening. So we have in the studio today back with us, it's been a while, weather reporter Lee Morgan. Welcome to the studio, Lee.
Well, it's good to be back, I think. But, I'm really shocked that you missed the opportunity today, of all days, to use your favorite cold weather phrase.
It's been bone chilling for like a week and a half.
See, bone chilling, now, this is actually the one time that you can use that, and it'd be appropriate.
In the 50s, absolutely. If it's below 60, to me, it's bone chilling. So that's so I'm like, well, I got to get Lee in here to explain this weird weather phenomenon. Have y'all noticed that memories are really short when it comes to weather. Every hurricane is like the most bizarre, newest thing they've ever seen. It's like a big every snow is hey, only in Alabama does this happen, they say, and it all happens everywhere.
Right.
Um, but anyway, so it's this time of year. It's cooling off. Whatever. Look,
It's called fall.
It's called fall.
People. It does happen.
Yep. A lot of kids may be outside tonight, dressed up. A lot of grown-ups too. I think is Halloween more of a grown-up thing nowadays? It seems like
It appears to be. And I tell you, as a grown up, if I had to go out in a Halloween costume tonight, you know what mine would be? It would be one of those big old fleece furry blankets, with
Right.
the like the sheep, and I would cut 2 holes in it and stick it over my head.
You could go as a Sherpa.
No, I'd go as a ghost, but I'd be warm,
Oh, okay.
unlike all those poor little kiddos in their little plastic masks.
Well,
Or those little ninja costumes cannot be too warm.
I'm not recommending anyone go as a skeleton, but if they did, it would be bone chilling.
Oh my gosh.
I
opened the door, so it is my fault.
What's it going to be like across the state tonight? So it sounds like they need to bundle up a little bit.
It's true. They do. They can fuel themselves on pure sugar and adrenaline for a little while, and then until it wears off. Parents, you're stuck. It looks like around prime trick or treating time. What is that? Is that like 5, 7 o'clock? Do you think?
I don't know. If something spooky knocks on my door at 9, it's a bad idea. Though.
I wonder.
So wrap it up by then.
Trick-or-treating temperatures, let's say 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock tonight. Temperatures, as soon as the sun goes down, the temperatures are going to drop like a rock. So they could get up into the 60s across the state today. But by the time you're heading out the door, I would expect them to be falling into, if you're in South Alabama, the low 60s. If you're in Central North Alabama, 50s or maybe even 40s. Low temperatures overnight tonight. They're not going to be as cold as this morning was. This morning we had frost advisories for North and Central Alabama. But it's not going to be quite as cold, but it'll still be, as you say,
bone chilling, sure.
A little bone chilling. But after tonight, it should start to warm up a little bit, and going into next week, we'll be back in the 60s and 70s. So
really
enjoy the cool while it lasts.
But I'm not getting any real summertime days from here on. Is it going to be like an Indian summer kind of thing? Because that's what I'm always looking forward to.
Never say never. I mean, we had tornadoes on Christmas here, right?
Sure.
But I don't know. Now, I do know that the next 2 weeks are favored to be warmer than normal for Alabama. And drier than normal. Unfortunately, we need to keep that rain going, but it looks like, and then the 1 month outlook from the NOAA's Climate Prediction Center has slightly elevated chances for warmer than average. That's average, so warmer than a normal November temperatures for like the western half of Alabama, but the eastern half is kind of a mixed bag. There's an equal chance they could be above or below. So it's not looking like too much, no big chills are coming in November, hopefully. I mean, I'm sure there'll be a few cold days, but it won't be.
Okay. Well, I know meteorologists have their long-term forecasts that aren't extremely always helpful for regular folks. They're worth doing because, they learn from the data. Do the
sounded like you're dumping on the long range forecast a little bit.
A little bit, but what? Well,
we just look at trends, right? You're not betting on it's going to be 65.4 degrees on Tuesday in 3 weeks.
Well, what do the tea leaves say about this winter?
Well, this winter, the NOAA winter forecast is out, and it's influenced by La Nina. So La Nina is officially back here. It's officially in progress, I guess I should say. And La Nina winters, everyone can be a little different. But in general, for Alabama, the storm track, that sends all the weather systems across the nation from west to east, typically in a La Nina year, it shifts more to the north. And that would mean warmer weather tends to be, And for probably the farther south, they go drier weather than average. Now, each La Nina is different. They're expecting this La Nina to be on the weaker side. So, that gives us a little more wiggle room to see what's going to happen. So,
I'm spitballing off the top of my head here in my memory. So we've finally gotten into La Nina. Is that kind of why the hurricane season sort of picked up in its later stages?
well, La Nina conditions typically correspond with more active hurricane
Right.
seasons.
Hey, I was
So,
right.
yeah, so, that could have something to do
Maybe.
with it. But I don't want to talk too much about hurricane season because we have about a month left. That last day is November the 30th. And I just don't want to jinx it. I know you don't believe in jinxes,
No.
and I've wanted to write a story about, the things we will not mention, but I'm not going to yet. So I hope the bosses don't get mad at me about that because I don't want to jinx it.
What do you? About the.
Shh,
Yeah.
don't say it.
All right. Well, it's not been the season that they've called for, except we've had some really big hurricanes that stayed out to sea.
Y'all, we have had not one, but 3 Category 5 hurricanes
And
just this
who
year.
would know? Except, now,
Well,
sadly, Jamaica and Cuba.
Yeah, they would. It looks pretty awful down there. But yeah, the other 2 managed to stay out to sea. But I mean, usually you get 1 Category 5 in a hurricane season, and that's something, to sit back and take notice of. But 3 is really incredible.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that, not incredibly happy note, thank you, Lee, for coming by and doing this.
Well, that wasn't too bad.
No, it wasn't too bad. And next time, you know what? Come back before the end of the year and let's put a real bow on hurricane season when you're not afraid of jinxes causing more storms than La Nina.
It's
does.
Halloween. We can talk about jinxes and stuff like that. 'Tis the season.
Stay away
that
from
kind of
that
stuff.
stuff. But all right. Well, thanks everybody out there for listening to us. We're going to be back here bright and early Monday morning. Until then, y'all come by and see what we're doing anytime you can on the World Wide Web at al.com.
State Senator Jennifer Carroll Foy here, asking you to vote for my friend, Ghazala Hashmi, for Lieutenant Governor. She's a lifelong educator who's fought to expand job training, and Ghazala wrote the bill protecting Medicaid from Trump and MAGA extremists. Join me in voting for Ghazala Hashmi for Lieutenant Governor and Democrats up and down the ballot. Paid for by Workers Vote, 212-265-7000. Not authorized by any federal candidate or federal candidates committee. Workers Vote is responsible for the content of this advertising.